Number 10. Our first video is certainly a strange one. Filmed from an indoor security camera, it shows 3 people mundanely going about their day, with no apparent paranormal activity present, until you look a little closer. On the left of the screen, the woman suddenly appears confused, checking over both shoulders as though looking for someone who isn't there. When zoomed in, something unseen seems to pull on her hair, not particularly hard, but more in a playful manner, almost childlike, and the woman looks genuinely puzzled. She half-heartedly announces, "Alright, you guys have a ghost in here." The uploader maintains that no other strange activity has happened since, and skeptics were quick to point out that they think it's the ceiling fan that's blown her hair, despite it moving in the opposite direction. But what do you think? Number 9. With the emergence of Ring doorbells and other motion detection home cameras, evidence of the paranormal has only become more prevalent, such as the following video. The uploader claims to have just returned home from a long work shift alone, and was settling down on their phone to catch up on social media when they received an alert from their Ring cam set up in the garage. On screen, what appears to be a semi-transparent series of shadows crosses from right to left, setting off the camera's motion detection before disappearing. When the poster checked the garage, it was empty as expected. It doesn't appear to be dust and seems too transparent for smoke or fog. And while some believe it's the reflection of a passing car's headlights, it seems strange for the camera's sensors to be so sensitive, a point the uploader makes, saying it rarely alerts him unless there is clear physical movement. Number 8. Another Ring camera capture here, but of a rather more bizarre nature. What looks to be a figure or apparition in a long white gown of some sort can be seen moving with a strange gait around the front of the uploader's home, going back and forth and at one point twirling around. Many have likened its appearance to the famous Fresno Walkers video of the eerie 2-legged entities caught on camera back in 2007, and similarly, the poster claims their house is in the wilderness, with no nearby neighbours or passerby. Whilst the verdict is largely split between real and faked, with the latter claiming the video could be too easily staged, we'll leave it up to you to decide. Let us know your thoughts or theories in the comments. Number 7. The following security footage comes from a factory worksite, where the uploader believes they have captured an entity, or at least some sort of residual energy, continuing to work even after death. In the center of the screen, besides what appears to be some sort of workstation, a white shape can be seen moving around the table, as though working with tools or inspecting an object, even moving away and then returning at one point before disappearing just before the clip ends. It's a strange video, as the shape really does seem to be centering around the workstation, as if on a kind of repeating reel. Watching the clip, we're sure most of us wouldn't fancy returning to our employment as a spirit to carry on working. Number 6. Reddit user rmara_bell30 maintains that her sister's house is haunted, and that after 8 years, videos like the following are a common occurrence. Whilst filming, a loud banging noise can be heard, rhythmically cycling in 4 knocks, a very short pause, and then continuing incessantly. When the uploader approaches the source of the noise in what looks to be the kitchen, the noise gets louder, before peculiarly stopping as they reach the doorway. The user writes that unexplained noises like this are heard at all hours of the day and night, yet no source for them can ever be found. Naturally, skeptic commenters question the credibility of the clip given the lack of any real evidence, and others have suggested it could be pipes or the heating system, which can produce similar noises. Is this poltergeist activity? Number 5. Reddit user last_mammoth895 was at work when their phone notified them of movement on the nanny cam setup in their home. Check it out. At first, all appears peaceful, with their 2 dogs lying comfortably and no suggestion of any warning or alertness. Yet, a disembodied voice then whispers loudly, followed immediately by a loud banging noise and an internal door on the left swinging open. Naturally, the 2 dogs go wild, barking in alarm upon hearing the unfamiliar voice and bang. The one nearest the opening door instantly rushes away, whilst the other jumps off the couch, seemingly ready to confront whoever comes through the door. Yet, nothing does. The uploader says they're unsure whether the voice sounds like it's saying "Heya" or "Taya," whilst other commenters claim to hear "lay down" or "wake up," as though it's talking directly to the dogs. What do you hear? Despite experiencing some previous strange occurrences in the house, the poster says they personally are a skeptic and can usually debunk any activity, but they're stumped on this one. Number 4. When the uploader of this clip rented an Airbnb in Tucson, Arizona, the last thing they expected to capture was a strange, ghostly experience. When walking around just filming the apartment and their friends, the poster had just returned from a basketball game, crashing and eating food, when an upturned shoe turns over, seemingly of its own accord. The uploader is naturally confused, as is the dog, who even prior to this strange event is already transfixed and staring at the shoe, as if watching something or someone.
You look down.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Busted.
I freaking wish I could have stayed there so much longer. Oh my god. This happens to me every time. I'm so sad.
Whoa.
What?
Nothing.
Many are quick to point out that the shoe was already balanced delicately, and so either gravity or the disturbance of footsteps on the floor rolled it right side up. Further, they question the motive, why a ghost would choose such an insignificant act as this, rather than something more substantial. Others contended the clear movement of the shoe is too much for gravity, and looks instead like it's been physically knocked or tipped. Number 3. Taken from a security camera inside the uploader's home, on the right of the video, it appears as though an apparition walks by, blurred slightly in motion as it walks from one room to another, before moving off screen. For context, the poster says their home is a newer build, so not a place that would first come to mind for paranormal activity. Yet their roommate is convinced that the apparition is actually her own mother, who passed away a few months before. The camera is also motion activated, which explains why the video instantly starts with the movement on screen, rather than a constant recording that perhaps could have captured an arrival or some sort of appearance. Whilst the clip is only short, it's definitely creepy, and plenty of Reddit commenters are asking the uploader to keep posting if anything else unnatural occurs. Could this be the ghost of her roommate's recently deceased mother? Number 2. Dogs have often been thought of as having some extrasensory perception or sense that lets them see things the human eye can't. Take a look.
Give me that scoop.
This dog appears to be calm at first, looking behind itself as though it's heard or senses something, but then wagging its tail and barking in response to the uploader's playful gestures. Suddenly, as though pushed forward, the dog slides towards the camera, worriedly turning back to face whatever has just touched it. Barking more purposely then, the dog appears jumpy as it looks off camera and hunches down on its front paws. The uploader said it didn't strike them as particularly odd at the time, but when they watched the video back, they noticed the strange way their pet seemed to slide forward unwillingly. However, this wasn't the first eerie incident in the house. In response to comments asking for more details, the uploader wrote, "We definitely had something else living there with us. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone walk out of the bathroom. I thought it was my daughter, and I went to go check on her because it was like 3 a.m, but she was totally asleep up in her loft bed. We'll let you be the judge." Number 1. Our final clip is truly unnerving. Prepare to be scared. In the pitch black night, a disembodied wailing voice can be heard, sounding a little too close to the camera for comfort, before suddenly transforming to a deep, growling, evil-sounding voice that sends the dogs into an alarmed frenzy. Returning again to wailing, the video then cuts off, leaving a spine-chilling silence in its wake. It sounds as though words are being spoken in the wailing, but we can't quite make out what's being cried. Can you? The uploader, whose family sent them the clip from their home in Mexico, says the people in the town have been hearing the terrifying wails for years and believe it's the infamous Weeping Woman. La Llorona is a legendary figure deeply rooted in Mexican folklore, and her story varies across regions. But a common version is that La Llorona was a beautiful woman who fell in love and had children with a wealthy man. However, when he ended the relationship in favor of another woman, she horrifically drowned their children in a river, only to be consumed by the guilt immediately after. Unable to undo her crime, she then drowned herself as well, and her soul was left to wander the earth in perpetual sorrow. According to the legend, the spirit of La Llorona roams riverbanks, lakes, and other bodies of water, endlessly searching for her drowned children. Locals say that she wails, "Ay, mis hijos," "Oh, my children," as she mourns, which is why many fear her cries, believing it brings misfortune and woe. Regardless of the wailing's origins, we are certain we wouldn't want to hear it in person, and most definitely not in the depths of night.